Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Ladies and gentlemen, fuck you, you binary squares. Happy Pride. Get queer. Am I wrong, folks? Come on now. Queen Latifah just came out at the BET Awards. What? You kidding me? And it goes to show you, you never know. You never know. So watch your words, mind your actions. You never know.
I got excited because I saw she officially came out. Obviously, like a lot of people knew and it was rumored. And so I read it to Xerxes and he goes, what are you reading the news from 12 years ago?
Well, they let us know that we're allowed to know. And that's what a big deal that is.
Not for Pride Month, right?
Just in time. Because then you got to debate about waiting another year. Like if I don't do it now, I'm not, you got to make the papers. You got to be a hero. You might as well, right?
And I believe it was at the BET Awards or no?
It was at the BET Awards. And then you wonder what other celebrity is going to come out, And you're like, I hope you don't want a celebrity bigger than you to come out on the same day.
Well, the thing is they have a quote, like as soon as they reach their 1% quota, you're not actually allowed to come out on the same year. So if Queen Latifah beat you to it, you have to pick another event at a different time.
I have to imagine it's like movie companies talking to each other, like we got a hit, you got a banger. What are we going to work out? Not the same weekend, obviously. I think this is how they deal with people coming out.
Right. Yeah. The public can only tolerate one of you at a time, and that makes them feel progressive just enough. But one more would be a little pushing it, and then we're going to revert back to before the 1980s. When I was about to pick a time in this sentence, and I'm like, before fucking yesterday. What can I tell you? I don't know. It's been pretty bad to come out.
A celebrity is thinking, I'm okay, you know what? I'm going to come out today. And they're like, no, Queen Latifah is. Well, we both can. Oh, you're on the level of the Equalizer. No, she's coming out today. You decide what you want to do later. Big announcement. I've been saving this announcement for Keith and the Girl episode 3422, and we're finally here. This week, this Sunday is Keith and the Girl Day.
Yeah.
That's right, July 4th. So if you haven't gotten your Keith and the Girl gear, GEAR, don't wait anymore. Make sure you get your order in on time. Tell people the magic of Keith and the Girl Day.
Oh, so usually July 4th, if you're a U.S. person and around the world, we tend to have the day off. And if you're dealing with some people in the U.S., you have the day off because they're not responding to you. Basically, what we're thinking is everybody's going to be outside. So if you have a sticker on you or a Keith and the Girl shirt on you, you end up bumping into a fan that you didn't know was a fan. Boom, babies are made. I mean, I fast forwarded a little bit, but you get what I'm saying.
Well, sometimes you didn't fast forward a little bit. I've heard stories too, but babies are made, couples are formed, fathers and sons are are realizing, hey, we actually do have something in common. And these aren't exaggerations, and it's always fun. So if you need a shirt or you need leggings we have, or a coffee mug, keithandthegirl.com/gear, GEAR. We have literally 1 million options. What do you think of that? The most sizes we've ever had, the most color options, the most variety in clothing, usual things like t-shirts and hoodies. But like I said, leggings, pint glasses, phone cases, on and on. Take a look, pick your size, color, design. 1 million literal options. Designs are by Newsy, fantastic artist. He illustrated images relative to 16 plus years of Keith and the Girl. It's a big history. Go to keithandthegirl.com/gear. Take a look around. See some amazing artwork. I think you're going to love it. So thank you very much. Okay. Let me mention this before we begin. Magic Spoon. I called Magic Spoon. I said, how's the campaign going? Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon goes, oh, when you were talking to Dave the other day, fantastic. I go, so I guess the campaign's done because all our entire audience has tried Magic Spoon. They go, shocking news, Keith.
No, that's not. No.
Yeah. I go, here's how many people listen and from where, and they go, yeah, not everybody has bought Magic. Who? What? So I'm here again to tell you a few holdouts about Magic Spoon. Look, it's cereal, but you're trying to cut down on carbs, sugar, unhealthy food. What are you going to eat? Will you eat that cardboard crap? No. How about something that tastes delicious and gives you that energy you need, gives you your protein. You don't have to mess around with the powders in the morning. If you're that kind of person, 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, Only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. 140 calories a serving only. Keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, GMO-free. Build your own box. Get a variety pack. Available flavors: cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, blueberry, cinnamon. Maybe you heard me talking about the birthday cake stuff. Oh, my God.
Party like it's your birthday. Also,
Yes.
may I recommend putting cereal in a cup? That is my life hack.
You can do that.
Yes, you can. You're an adult now and you're eating adult cereal.
I put it in my Keith and the Girl mug. I walk around with it. Go to magicspoon.com/KATG. Grab your delicious cereal. Try it today. And be sure to use our promo code KATG at checkout. Save $5 on your order, okay? They're so confident in their product. It's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money. No questions asked.
And by the way, if you can't understand Keith's speech impediment, the code is usually KATG for Keith and the Girl.
Yes. And by the way, when I say no questions asked, they won't even ask you how your day is. They're going to give you back your money and done. Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/KATG and use the code KATG to save $5 off. Thanks, Magic Spoon.
Yeah, and as soon as you all buy just one of them, as soon as you try it, you will not hear from us again. We have done our job, the important work that we do as podcasters. So thank you, magicspoon.com/KATG.
Now, speaking of the important work of podcasters, today's guest is the host of Gamertag Radio. This podcast, not only has the host been inducted into the podcasting Hall of Fame, but Gamertag Radio began a month in February, a month before Keith and the Girl. I've never heard of such a thing.
Who is this fucking asshole?
And it's still going on. Yes.
Still going on.
Still.
Here he is.
Yeah.
Danny Peña. How you doing, Danny?
First of all, thank you so much for inviting me. It's an honor to be here. And true story. A lot of people don't know this, but I was one of the people also that voted for you guys to get inducted Hall of Fame.
All right.
Oh,
thank you.
Nice.
I was like,
you.
They deserve it. So,
Thanks. We
yeah.
joined the club with you. That's so sweet.
Yeah. So when I heard the news, I was like, yes.
Right. You have a documentary that you put out some years ago. It's people can see it on YouTube. And it's referenced, as of course people that listen to your show know this, your gamer tag is Godfree, Godfree.
Yes.
What the documentary didn't tell me is where the name came from, and I stayed till after the credits and everything.
Yes. So the way how I got that name, my cousins and I, we all have like nicknames. So we used to watch shows back then, like in the 90s. It was USA Open Night, I think it was, hosted by Gilbert Godfree.
Yes.
Yeah. They'll be like, oh, look, Godfrey. So they'll call me Godfrey. So I just changed the name to Godfrey.
Like one of your friends is named Sabrina or something? It's whatever you guys are watching?
Yeah, no, whatever. Yeah, exactly. Because we used to watch it all the time. So they'll say, man, Danny, you look like him. You look like Gilbert Godfrey. I'm going to call you Gilbert. And then like, nah, Godfrey sounds better. So that's how it came up. So that's how I got my name.
You changed it to Godfree.
Yeah. So people now think I'm atheist. I'm like, nah, it's not. That doesn't mean that either. But yeah.
Can I tell you, I remember that show. And if I'm remembering right, and you tell me because you are Godfree, what I remember is it was late night. So it was movies that pushed the envelope just a little bit. It was like the start of a porn, and then it would cut out before anyone took their clothes off. Like I remember a scene where it's like, oh, principal, I did do the wrong thing. You want to open me up? And he's like, what? And then they cut, but like it sort of started. But then Gilbert Gottfried would talk you into the episode and out into commercial. So it'd be like, oh my God, I have been bad, principal. Would you like to open me up? And it's like, wasn't that great?
Exactly.
That was a fantastic scene. We take you now to some sponsors so we can pay for this. We'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm limp now. Yeah.
Wow, I just remember right now. It's exactly like that. Exactly like that. Yeah, it was that. And also we used to watch a lot of like unsolved mysteries late at night. Crazy.
I'm never gonna understand this Godfrey thing though. You don't look like him. You don't sound like him.
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I blame my cousins. I don't know.
Sure. I mean, we can't make up our own nicknames, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You did online radio before podcasting.
Yes.
as a teenager. Is that am I exaggerating?
Yeah, I'm not exaggerating. It was in 1998. There was a company called Pseudo around there around that time that they had a network all about streaming. It was audio and video. And I remember through using a 56K modem, I went to the website and I used Real Player, and I saw one of my favorite artists, Nas, from the hip hop scene. He was there freestyling, doing an interview. I'm like, oh man, I would love to have like a show like this online, but I wonder if it's going to be too expensive. So I tried back then with a couple of my friends, and I was like, there's no way. There's too much money. Not going to happen. So then it was around.
Which, by the way, that around that time, most people, as they're listening to this, we forget the internet has only existed for us, for like the general public, for kind of 20 years. I know it was here before, but I remember, we all started podcasting at the same time, and people would say, oh, you work online? That was sort of like a nerdy thing to do. When somebody said, I sent you an email, it was very regular for people to say, I don't check my email. Can you just call me? There wasn't texting really on phones, especially not with a keyboard. So all of this stuff, when he says he opened something up and had a player, it probably fucking buffered for like 10 minutes first.
Yeah.
This wasn't like, let's record on the phone. This is, let's get the equipment, let's upload it, let's all this shit with separate drives and all that stuff. So
if he had breaking news, by the time it got to you, even though he's live, you can go and get a newspaper.
Yeah,
it was already printed out. And
exactly.
I remember my brother was on pretty early on, and he's showing me a website. I've never seen a website before in my life. I only used computers to do some weird 1 to 100 game. I never touched it. He's showing me a website, and it's loading like the top is coming in layers. So like the first line of the top, then the second, then the third, and it's filling in from top to bottom, just a picture, just one site. And then if there was a picture on the site, first the text would come in, and then eventually the picture would load up.
I remember when you would guess, like, is this going to be tits or balls? Remember that?
and the curious thing, it would load so slow, and it's like, oh my God, it will take forever just to do that, man. So what happened, never worked out. I found out it was too expensive. So then fast forward to like 2001, I still wanted to do a show. So like around late 2000, I was just experimenting through using angelfire.com, those free websites back then, right? It was a disaster. That didn't work. And then in 2001, I launched a show where I recorded it on cassette and converted in real time to MP3. And then I uploaded it. Yeah, I'll upload it to mp3.com. And the reason why I did that, that website was giving money to artists every time they'll stream or download their music, they'll get paid. So I'm like, wait a minute, it's free hosting. What happened if I put my show there? Maybe I could get paid. We'll see. So I did it, and my first check that I ever received in 2001 was $500. And I was like, all right, I want to start a business with this. I want to start a business with this. So that's how everything started. So then fast forward the end of 2001.
Could we just, before you continue, can we know about how long it took once you recorded it on a tape recorder? And some of you should Google what a tape recorder is. It's hilarious. You recorded on the tape recorder. How long would it take you to convert it and have it uploaded?
By the way, I'm at mp3.com right now, and it looks like it's an inverted asshole. Let me click on this. Spin me right round, baby, right? Anyway, what were we saying?
Yeah. No, let me see. I'm trying to remember. So if the audio was, it was like 30 minutes or so, and I'll edit it real time through my cassette because I didn't have no software to edit. I didn't know how to do it. So I was just doing it like that, just real time. And
what's through your cassette? Just stopping and starting?
Stopping and start, pause, play. Because I used to do mixtapes with my cousins back then, hip hop mixtapes. And that's
how I got my first radio job. I interviewed my brother, paused and started, to put music together. And then my trick was, I said to the manager, if I'm not good right away, then you don't have to pay me at first. I'll quit. And I know even at that young age, I'm like, legally you can't do that. You have to pay me. So, gotcha. It worked. He goes, right? How did you edit this tape together? I'm like, and you're an idiot.
But it worked.
It worked.
It worked. Now the hard part for me was uploading because I didn't have no DSL back then, broadband, none of that. So I had to upload everything through a 56K modem, and God forbid if somebody calls, I have to like restart again. And it was a mission, man.
So it was going through your phone line.
Yeah, through my phone line, and that's
So
how
if
I did it.
somebody was calling while it was happening, would they get the?
Yeah, exactly. So then I decided, you know what? I think it's better to upload at night. Nobody's gonna call. But sometimes it would just disconnect randomly. So again, I had to restart again. So I'm like, I remember the early days. It's like downloading music through Napster. Like,
Yeah.
I'm about to hit 99%, 100%,
Right.
and then like by 90, it's already cut. It was similar to that.
It got
It was
exhausted.
yeah, it was very annoying. So, but then at the end of the year, there was two events happening. That it was 2 months after 9/11. I remember Nintendo and Xbox were in town promoting their products like a month before the products came out, right? So I just showed up with a video camera and a tape recorder, and I went to the Microsoft event first. And I went up to them and like, hey, can I get a media badge just from my show? And they were like, yeah, sure. They just gave me a badge without asking me about a business card or anything like that. So
Because, may I say again, at that
yeah,
time, if you had a camera, you were in the press. It's not like everybody just had like a camera
right.
they could walk around with and
Yep.
then and think to put a tape recorder so that you can make sure you get the sound of the person talking. Right
Yep.
now, everyone has a camera in their hand.
Yep. Exactly. So then it was a competition, by the way, 40-hour competition. Whoever has the most points will win a free trip to Cancun. They were giving away a car. I was like, I want a free trip to Cancun. I just want to go over there. So I tried, and at the same time, I had a media badge. So I was like interviewing people and trying to compete at the same time. So, and then at the end, they surprised us to say, hey, Danny, and I think 10 other people, we all got a free Xbox to take home. And I was like, oh my God, this is my first free product to get from a company. So I did that, and then I went to Nintendo, same thing. And then like a week later, I get a call from Microsoft that said, hey, we're gonna have an event, Times Square. Can you come? So you could talk to the media about the product. I'm like, sure. So I just went, and then they say, okay, Danny, I want you to play video games with Bill Gates. The major media is gonna record that, and yeah, just answer questions. I'm like, this is happening? What? All because I showed up with a video camera and a tape recorder at the event, you know? So ever since then, the rest is history with my show.
Did Bill Gates, good question, Hunter. Did Bill Gates do anything untoward to any of the females or coworkers, keeping in mind that he was in a relationship?
No, he didn't say a word.
Okay. All right. Just checking. Okay.
I was going to ask if he was good at the video game key.
I was
and
close.
To answer your question, he's terrible in video games. Terrible.
Okay.
He was just there, hey, taking those pictures, but that's about it. Yeah.
You regret saying great job because you were nervous when he was terrible at it?
I make believe. I'm like, yeah, great job, man.
We're both as good as what the other one does.
Yeah.
Good job you, good job me.
Now, true story about this. I had my tape recorder with me at the event, and I tried to do like record an interview because everybody was talking to him, like the media, and I show up and I did the same thing, and I had my recorder like this right next to him, and he was answering my question. And then PR, I got to see it from far away. She came and snatched my recorder, took my tape away, and gave me my recorder back. I'm like, no, I had an interview with Bill Gates. No, in 2001.
That's what should have been in the documentary. You go, and I talked to Bill Gates. No, but I just get out of here.
Yeah.
And then next scene.
Exactly. I should have put it in there. That would have been perfect.
You did have in the documentary. You mentioned quickly how Adam Curry, the MTV VJ, helped change the game. And you're right. He also helped change our podcast feed meta tags behind our back for Keith and the Girl, and stole our feed and sold commercials on it. But yeah, you're right. He's a player. He's a game changer. That kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Which reminds me, if you're new to the game, check out Keith and the Girl episode 247. It's called the Pod Show Contract, and it's very, very fun. And Wired repeated the information about Adam, so it's very exciting at the time. Is your wife into video games?
Oh, I'm not married, by the way. So changes from this was years ago when I filmed this. So
okay,
I'm not with her anymore. We broke up a long time ago, and but
nobody wants somebody that's playing video games all the time, even if you give her a nice life, right? They look at it like kids. My girlfriend does too. I'm 47. Yeah. I'm playing Destiny 2, probably with teenagers. Thank God I can't hear them. But they look at us like we're playing games, but I see the stuff they watch on TV, and it's mind melting. At least do an exercise when you're doing it like I am. I mean, my fingers lock up and everything. So I'm at least working.
Yeah, but that's good. Me, same here. I'm always working. I'm always reviewing games, and pre-pandemic, I was always traveling to the studios, and I get to meet. I get to meet like developers and execs from different companies. They just want to be on our show to talk about what things they've been working on, you know. So my co-host actually last week he hosted a show for Xbox that aired last week, and millions of people got to watch it. And I was like, oh my god, if people knew like the stuff that we went through just as a podcaster. He also started like around 2006, and seeing that, like, I got emotional. Like, oh man, you know, like it's crazy how our lives have changed ever since then, you know. So it's really cool. You never know who's listening, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I always say that to people.
What was the biggest thing between you and your wife? Was it always going away or unrelated?
Well, I'm not married, by the way.
Oh, you were never married?
Never married. So I had, okay, so in the movie, the documentary, I had my ex is there. So
Okay.
she was actually the one that got me my first mixer in 2006. Mixer with 2 mics, because I was still using built-in mic, everything through there, you know. So
Okay.
And that was her first regret.
Nah, she was very helpful. That was good. But yeah, so ever since then, I started recording. And actually, my first big thing for me was I went to an event in Orlando for like an esports event. It was all about Halo. I don't know if you play Halo or not, but yeah. So I was there and I had my mics, my mixer, everything there set up. And Dawn Wells popped up out of nowhere. I was like, what? And she just sat down like, hey, can you just do an interview? I'm so curious about this video game stuff. And I interviewed her, and she was just asking me questions about games. I was like, what? Dawn Wells was the one that was in Gilligan's Island back in the days.
Of course.
Yeah. Marianne, Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's very cool.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Fairly recently. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, she passed away from COVID too. In Orlando, I think. Yeah.
Well, I feel like I opened this up. Let me put a little bow on it. Are you seeing anybody now?
Yeah. Her name is Rihanna. She's actually working right now behind me. So
all right. What does she do when you say working?
She works at the new network that's launching, G4 TV.
Okay.
It's part of NBC Universal. Yeah, she used to work at Xbox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there ever like, I know you have a scoop, give it to me? Like, is it ever weird now?
As of right now, no, I don't have the scoop. not. But I'll say this, like, you know, we usually get, you know, stuff like they give us like the heads up all the time. So yeah, for stuff. But everything has already been announced last week. So because last week was E3, so 2 weeks ago. So there's nothing really to talk about now for like a couple of months, a couple of weeks. You know,
you don't try to like throw in stuff like during sex, like, when does Deep Space come out?
Of course, all the time.
What?
Right? All the time. All the time.
Nothing. I saw you, and I saw your T-shirt. I don't know if you still have this T-shirt, "Nerdy by Nature," which of course looks like the
so
Naughty by Nature logo.
Yeah, so this one is Gamer by Nature.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're moving in different directions. Speaking of Naughty by Nature, Queen Latifah made a cameo in it. In one of their videos. Thank you. That's my association to Naughty by Nature.
Yeah. She's a hip hop legend. I'm very happy that she finally, you know, came out last night.
What'd she rap about? How much she likes boys? Me and Rosie love Tom Cruise.
I'm trying to remember what was the tracks I used to listen back then, because Naughty by Nature was also part of her crew back then. Flavor Unit, it was called, because they were all from Jersey, all from New Jersey. Yeah.
We don't hold that against them, but she had UNITY, of course.
That was classic. I love that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then from there, it's just anything she wanted to do, we were all about. So
yeah. Now she's dope. Really, really
well,
cool.
Speaking of the N-word, and I can say it because I was tortured with it my whole life. Nerdy. How old are you?
I'm about to turn 44 now in a couple of weeks.
Okay, so when I was a kid, and I'm 47, there was nothing cute about being a nerd, and it had nothing to do with necessarily smarts or electronics. It had to do with not being social, not being able to communicate, and being weak. There wasn't a difference between nerd and geek. When you know, in the gaming world, also an actress, Olivia Munn, I see her in the newspaper, you know, dressed to the nines, and she's like, "I'm a real dork," and I'm like, nobody ever jerked off to me and went, "What a dork," you know.
Yeah,
you're so eloquent in this.
Very.
Have you noticed the nerd word change over the years? And is it weird to embrace it? Were you ever picked on it when you were a kid?
Yeah, in the 80s in New York, I used to get bullied all the time. And I think now everybody wants to be the nerd, like.
Does it bother you? Because it bothers me that they're co-opting it.
It doesn't bother me, man.
Now the cool people got my lunch. Now they get the derogatory name. They can throw that around. I don't like it.
No, it doesn't bother me, man. Because honestly, I feel that is helping people to learn more about the industry of whatever it is. It could be about comics, about video games. That's more people getting into the industry and part of the community. So that's why it doesn't bother me at all. I'd rather see this like a positive thing than going through the whole stuff that I went through back in the 80s, getting bullied. That was not good at all,
What kind of bullying did you?
Yeah, I like your positivity angle, but don't you want to go back and beat these people up? But no, apparently you're sure.
Well, back in the days I would have, but now I'm like, very cool.
But
was it physical?
Physical, yeah, all the time. I used to fight like crazy back when I was a kid. Yeah, in Manhattan, Uptown, poof, all the time.
Now I don't know. Like Keith would talk about how he was so small, thin. You could see the back of his
spine.
Like so, you couldn't. Mm-hmm. You can't really tell. He pretty much filled in. What about you? Mm-hmm. Were you smaller? How tall are you now?
Right now I'm like 5'11", almost 6. Yeah. So back then I wasn't short like that. I wasn't short back then. But here's the thing, Keith. Like I remember when I even started, because I used to be part of the music industry back in the days, right? And I wasn't happy with that. And I wanted to do my gaming stuff back like in early 2000s. And I left the industry and a lot of people were making fun of me. They're like, why are you wasting your time with podcasting? Why you want to waste your time with that? They were making fun of me around that time too. And look at now, podcasting is a big thing. Now, the same people that made fun of me back then, now they're calling me, asking you like for tips and like, how can I do
not
this?
Me. Good for you. Good for you. But for me, I don't let those people even listen. I don't let them listen to my show. Fuck them.
Not listen.
No, I ban them.
But I don't help them. I'm like, see, I told you, because see, the thing is, I'm not a follower, man. I like to do stuff that I want to do. That mm-hmm. I'm more of a leader than a follower. You know what I'm saying? So when I got to see all those people making fun of me, like, all right, it's cool. You see, I know you guys are gonna be back and asking me questions about how to do this. Watch and look.
Well, what was the toughest fight as a kid? Like physically, what was the worst condition somebody left you in, or a bunch of people?
Somebody grabbed me because I was on the floor while it was like a group of them were beating me up.
For what, if I may say? Not that there's a reason, but what?
No, they would just like make fun of me. They were like, they'll be saying like, oh, you're not wearing good clothes, poor kid, stuff like that. Because everybody was like wearing their public schools. People were wearing, their gear and everything, right?
Adam Brown would say this, like he almost had to be in a gang, like a jail in New York.
Yeah. It was horrible, man. So they grabbed me and threw me to like the door, and I had like my front forehead was cut, my lips was all messed up. Like I'll end up going to my mom's, with my clothes all ripped up and everything like that back then, so
how does terrible. It end? How does the actual fight end, and how does the bullying end?
For me, changing schools, yeah. And sometimes I will see people start like making fun of me too. And but then slowly I noticed like they stopped, but I think changing schools helped me. And also when I moved to Dominican Republic, it helped dramatically. It helped out because nobody was doing that over there. I think that was more like a New York thing in the 80s. So
yeah. When did you move to the Dominican Republic?
Late 80s, like 88, 89. So I was there for like 4 years. And
so then like I went 16 or so.
Of your middle school?
No, I was not 16. I was going to middle school. Yeah, for middle school, I went over there.
So you suddenly switched. I assume you speak Spanish?
Yeah, I speak Spanish. Yeah.
So you went right into the system, no problem? Because
no, not really. It took me a while.
I couldn't do that with Hebrew, and I speak. But if you put me in middle school suddenly from New York to Hebrew, I'd be writing like a first grader.
Yeah. For me, when I went over there, oh man, I knew Spanish, but not like that. And it took a while for me. I think I almost failed the first year too.
That makes sense. And you still weren't bullied?
No, in Dominican Republic, nope. I feel like it was more welcome. Like everybody was like cool, and a lot of people that I met was also into gaming, into hip hop. So yeah, that was awesome. Wow. Yeah.
And then when did you move back?
I moved back to actually 92. I woke up one day And I went to my mom because my parents got divorced when I was really young. And I told her, Mom, I think I want to go to Miami because my dad was already there. And I moved
And
to
so was
Miami.
the rest of the Dominican Republic.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So then I moved to Miami right after a month after Hurricane Andrew.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when I got to
went.
Miami, it was destroyed. The whole area was destroyed. So Kendall, where I lived, that's where the eye was at. The eye from of the storm. Yeah.
And
so
your
it was
mom was
completely
cool
messed
with
up.
that.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, go for it. Yeah. Got me. I've been living with her all my life. So that's why I'm like, all right, I need to change. I need to go over there. And plus all my cousins was over there too. And we're really, really close. Because I remember in the 80s, my grandma got me an Atari 2600 in 1984.
Mm-hmm.
She bought 3 consoles because at that time it was $50 per console. Okay, they were running out of business, and Nintendo was coming to America in 85. So they were like, we got to sell this very cheap. So then she bought a console for me and also for my cousin. So we've always been close, like, playing games and always getting together and hanging out. So it was awesome going there.
What was the best 2600 game?
Defenders, love Defenders so much. That was really cool. I didn't like Pac-Man that much because Pac-Man seemed very bootleg compared to like the arcade version.
Right.
Yeah. Not a fan of that.
I didn't know any better, so I dug it. My brother won an Atari in those high school selling things where you sell to your neighborhood,
Yes. Yeah.
And he was like first place selling whatever bullshit. I don't know if it's cards, flowers, who knows. By the way, what a rude thing to ask kids to do.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the neighbor's house and they're like, "Are you okay?" Like, "Yeah, I'm okay." And they're like, "Oh, damn, give me the pamphlet." Fuck. No, I'm not gonna buy it. You live across from me. I'm not gonna buy it. Then Mike just went out the most. That's all. Everybody's gonna buy it. You don't want something to happen to your house.
When that was happening in my school, I was going to yeshiva. And so our buy this stuff is here's some Passover chocolates and some, kosher lollipops and things like that. And I started off really strong and be like, this is the year where I do go house to house. Then the neighbors are going to hear from me. And I would go to like 1 or 2 and, at least one would buy it. And then I put it in an envelope and never put it in the order. And they never heard from me again. And nobody gives a shit. And they probably forgot. So I don't know. And I don't know.
They never expected to get it. Right.
I think not. Yeah. Sorry. You didn't receive your kosher chocolate lollipops.
No.
The whole thing's so fucking weird. And I think the school even knows, like, I think legally we shouldn't be doing this. Because like a parent will go like, "Oh, the Girl Scout cookies, my kid ate them all and we're not going to pay you $2,000. Yeah, okay. It's kind of illegal what we're making them do anyway. All right, forget the whole thing.
And then there's parents who their parents worked in an office. So the parents would take the entire thing and just give it to the people they work with or leave it at reception or whatever you do in an office. And it would make its way around and you'd completely sell out because who's going to tell your coworker, I don't want to buy your cookies.
Right.
Yeah. I used to sell chocolate bars. Chocolate bars was the thing for me back then.
Like how we see them for basketball teams and raising money. What were you raising money for? Oh, wait, the chocolate bars that used to suck, the McDonald's ones?
Yeah, those are the ones. Yep.
Okay, I remember this. Okay.
What is this?
So
it was like peanut butter, right? But it had nuts in there too. Chocolate.
I think you had options somehow. I only remember this one option. I'm not sure. It was a chocolate that was made up like it was a chocolate that was made for raising money for school or other functions. Yeah. So if you saw a kid with this particular chocolate, it's just a bar, very plain. It had a McDonald's logo on it, but like a small one. But other than that, it was kind of gray or white or like very nondescript. And you would know that this kid is selling for a school, for a function, for a thing that they were raising money. And that's what you would see on the train. And that's what you would see like, in heavy public areas. And then they switched to, I'm selling for my basketball team. And it was M&Ms and Twizzlers and everything you want. And now you don't know the difference between who's actually selling for their basketball team, for the debate club, whatever, or somebody who just went to, Costco with their parents and is now selling the M&Ms for $1 when it cost them 25 cents.
I can't. Yeah, you're right. And I can't believe you mentioned McDonald's because now I remember they had the logo of McDonald's there. Oh my God.
Yeah. And it was like just shitty chocolate, but you knew that you were just buying the kid a service. Like, yes, you did good. I'm giving you $1. And I think the price was even on there. So people can't make up their own price. This is how much you buy it for. This is how much you sell it for. And everybody just kind of is even.
Yeah, they give you like a box to
Mhm.
carry. Yeah, to carry around. Yeah, I remember that. Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Also, when Danny was in the Dominican Republic, he'd have multiple video game consoles. He made his place like an arcade, and people would come pay him
Yep.
to play the video games. You signed up like half hour, an hour, right?
Yeah. I made so much money doing that too.
What would you
Yeah.
charge? What would the charge be?
So at that time, it was 5 pesos
Okay.
for 5 pesos for 30 minutes, 10 pesos for an hour. Now, people that I know, I'll rent them the games. Only people that I know. So people would just show up and they'll play sports game like NBA Jam, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, stuff like that. Yeah.
How much is 10 pesos about?
10 pesos. I mean, now back then. I can't remember, man. I can't remember. It was a while ago. That was
Okay.
A long time ago.
How much was a soda back then?
A soda?
In the Dominican Republic?
Maybe like a peso, 2 pesos around there.
So 5 and 10 is significant. You can get like 5 sodas at least.
A 6-pack.
Yeah. But I had multiple consoles. Also Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, multiple TVs. So I was there was always business. Yeah.
First of all, how are you getting? You're in middle school in the Dominican Republic. How are you getting away with it? Who bought all this stuff? And how are you keeping track of 30 minutes, 1 hour per person?
My mom. My mom was the one. Cause see, my mom was the one that she's like, let's do it. And my dad is more like, I need to see results. Like I think this is a waste of time.
Results. I need to know who's in my house.
Right.
Yeah. No, my mom, she was like, let's do it. I'm ready to do it. So I started like doing that like around summer, the end of the school year. And I did it for a while like that. Yeah.
So how would you keep track of them?
Oh, it was me and my friends. We have everything written down on paper, I had like a notebook and I was like, all right. And I had the timer, everything there too.
Did you pay your friends?
Yeah. We split the money up. Yeah. He was my business partner. I was super young. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And I did it like that. I was already like almost done with middle school too. I was like now going to high school. Yeah. It's crazy.
Were you good in school or who gives a fuck?
The what?
Were you good in school?
Oh yeah, I was. I think it was high school. That's when I was fucking up big time. Around 10th grade, because I was living in Miami. And then my dad was like, hey, let's move to West Palm Beach. I'm like, I don't know about that. So didn't like West Palm Beach at all when I was there. Didn't like it. We were there for only 6 months. It was a disaster. I was skipping school, not going at all.
Why? What's the problem with West Palm Beach? Your cousins
just the crowd. Yeah, my cousins wasn't there. The crowd. I didn't feel.
And your father, that mattered to your father, and you moved like.
Well, my dad, he bought a house over there, and he was actually driving from West Palm Beach to Miami, and it was taking him forever to get there, to work. And after a while, he was like, you know what? Fuck this. Like he also got tired of West Palm Beach, and we just sold the house and went back to Miami.
Oh my God. It sounds like your parents were always listening to you like you're a human being. Is that correct?
Most of the time, yes or no. It depends on what are the things. Like this one was more about like, it was all of us feeling the same way, like not liking West Palm Beach. It was not only
so you
me.
happened to match in your feelings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't want to move over there at all. I loved Miami. Loved the weather. Loved the crowd. And it felt like I was in Dominican Republic too.
You made so much money in your console arcade. You bought a motorcycle. True story?
True story. Motorcycle. A little motorcycle with a basket in the front.
You still have a picture of that?
No, I wish I had a picture, man. So in Dominican Republic, they call this Choppy. It's a brand called a Choppy. So
okay.
Yeah.
Can you send me a picture of that?
I wish. I'm gonna search online to see if they have it, because that was so long ago. That was like in the 90s, man. So
by the way, speaking of motorcycles, I saw the new movie F9. I can't believe it's a true story, but it's the new Fast and Furious movie.
Oh, sorry.
Kemda. Fast and Kemda.
The F word has changed a lot. Now it's Fast and Furious. That's fine. That's kind of like describing some people's sex. It's a spectrum, and now we're on Fast and Furious. Got it.
Is this the one? Is this one that they actually went to space? Because I've been hearing this for like a while.
Oh yeah,
with their cars.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's one thing I know. I don't know anything else.
They've done it all. They've had a submarine Fast and Furious. Where else are you gonna go if it's not literally outer space in a car? What?
Now, the only thing that they did mention, they're planning to do like a crossover of like Jurassic Park and Fast and Furious.
Why not? Honest to fucking God, why not?
Do it. Yeah, might as well. Go for it.
Yeah, this movie is so fucking goofy. First of all, for it being a Kurt Russell movie, not a lot of Kurt Russell. Little spoiler. But anyway, you just stare at this movie until all of a sudden shit happens. But none of the talking makes any sense. And the audience is laughing. And as dumb as this movie is, that I'll tell you, the experience was fun because even though I did see a movie since the pandemic, this is the first time people went out. People were still kind of apart from each other groups, but people were out and you heard people, laughing at all the laughable shit. That was fun. But
wait, but were they laughing at stuff that the movie wanted them to laugh at?
No. It looked like a main character dies right away. You believe it because they show it, and everybody laughed like that was a dumb way to die.
Oh my God, no way.
And the guy goes, not really dead. And then everybody's like, yeah, no shit. That'd be weird. It's been 10 minutes.
I have a lot of friends that were like super excited to watch this movie. They love Fast and Furious, but I've never been a huge fan of that series at all. I don't know. Like,
I like the last four. But they kept being more and more ridiculous, of course. What were you going to say?
The last four, there are 9 of them. So you didn't like the first 5?
I saw the first one, hated it, jumped in, I think, at 6.
Wow, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
That's a jump.
Yeah. I was hearing things, Tokyo Drift, now you're driving sideways all the time. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Yeah.
But I don't want to judge this, even though I have to admit I am a little bit, because it's like, I don't think it speaks to you, this movie, and you keep trying, and that happens a lot with you. But I know that I clicked on the Eliza Schlesinger movie on Netflix, so I should shut the fuck up. So it's very odd to me that I crave the same fucking story in different people's faces. I'm just like, go ahead, give me the romance. When does this story turn and when does it turn back? I need some feelings and I need them now, and I know I'm going to hate all of it. Now, this is a special pile of crap. But in general, when you give me a stupid love story, I'm like, don't click on it. And I click on it. Is that what's happening to me?
Now, there's no point to ask you this, but you don't know the title of the movie, do you?
What? Okay. Eliza?
Yeah, it's called Eliza.
Eliza Schlesinger. How many movies did she make? The one with the Yale guy.
I
wish it. No, I don't remember. No.
Okay. All right.
Do you really want, because you don't know?
No, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was like she does something and people know. Danny, do you know?
No, I don't at all.
Oh, that makes me feel better. I feel like at least I'm in the know.
She just looked it up. It's not her. It's Elijah Wood. Anyways, well, you know me, Kenta. I got to see what the whole world is up to. I know everybody's going to see this movie. With what Danny said about that, I never really got into it. Danny, when are you going to go see this movie?
Probably this weekend. That's maybe. You know what it is? I miss going to the movies. I love going to movies. Will go by myself. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go random. And I think the last time I did that was the last Terminator movie before the pandemic. That was the last one that I got to see. That's a shame. That's too bad. Well, no, thanks. I got to see what the whole world's up to. If someone sees the #1 trending movie on Netflix right now, it's Liam Neeson in The Ice Road. And if they go, oh, it's fucking terrible. Now I've seen it and I get to go, yep. And that's a fun thing to do. Not banging 3 supermodels or shopping at Costco fun, but it's a good time. And I have to know what the whole world's up to. And the whole world's watching this. Where they're watching it like I am. You just stare at it. Then all of a sudden the car is driving over a walking bridge. You keep staring. All of a sudden, Cardi B is some kind of SWAT agent. What? Who knows? Yeah, exactly. Moving on. All of a sudden, you're literally in outer space. Okay. They're superheroes now. Their cars are superheroes. Everyone fights and makes peace fast. Like, thank God these people are out to kill each other. But thank God they never say anything so rude they can't take it back, because they will end up working together. So all the bad guys, they end up working together. Jason Statham, whoever, everybody ends up being partners, and everybody in this crew now we're up to like a 15-person crew.
they're all 1 degree away from everybody. So like one guy will be like, I'll call the president and we'll get on that. I'm like, hey, this guy knows the president. Yeah, moving on. It's like in Star Wars. And okay, Darth Vader's Luke's dad. All right, I believe it. But then 9 movies go. And of course, everything comes from who's the new Darth Vader? Well, that's Han Solo and Princess Leia's son. Well, of course it is. It's like when you would watch Friends and you want to yell at the screen, there's other people to fuck.
Wait, isn't it John Cena in this, right?
John Cena's in this one.
How was his performance, if you don't mind me asking?
Great. How could it have been? He fights people. It was great. There's wires. He did fantastic. He was on a truck and he did this wrestling move, and you're like, I believe that was on a truck.
Now
he
prefer
did aces.
You prefer Cena or The Rock in this?
The Rock. The Rock has more personality. Yeah.
Okay. Shots fired, Cena. Shots fired.
Now The Rock isn't in this one, and I believe it's because him and the main guy, who's the main guy, Toretto, don't get along. And it's Toretto's movie, of course. But he's like, all right, I'll take another wrestler. Fuck you.
Yeah.
John Cena probably asked The Rock, are you cool? And The Rock's like, yeah, of course, because you'll leak out that I wasn't cool. All right, I'll do it. But yes, I believe when he put his head through a window as a viewer, I'm like, so yeah, he was good. I don't know. It's Oscar worthy, but I don't know what else is coming out yet. Again, we're just getting back into it. Maybe it's A Quiet Place too. I don't know. But when he kicked the guy in the crotch, I was like, that would hurt. Yeah. So So I think he did good. Okay. People said, who was the basketball player in that Adam Sandler Diamond movie? And they said, did he do good? And I'm like, I believe that he wanted to buy diamonds. So yeah, these sports guys I believe them.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Good.
Well,
good to know.
The movie that I was talking about was good on paper.
Okay.
I gotta say, what's her face? She did a lot of stuff, so it wasn't as easy for me to find. I guess no one's watching this.
Okay.
Well, Netflix recommends it to me, and then I end up watching it.
Because you watched it, now you're in that algorithm. I hate that. I hate algorithms so much. I take a shower and a bad song comes on my phone and I can't turn it off. I'm like, that's in the fucking system.
Yeah, I'm the same way like that, but with YouTube, because every time I go to the front page and it's showing me stuff like, wait a minute, hot tubs. What's up with this, man? Like, because what happened, my partner, she was watching a hot tub because we were planning to get one.
Right.
And yeah, ever since then, I'm getting like products and all this stuff from there because of the algorithm. It's like, God damn it, this is so annoying.
I mean,
and also I think Netflix is fucked up. It should have an option to get this out of your algorithm. Like, there's some things that I clicked on by mistake, or as soon as I watched 5 minutes of it, and I'm like, take this off my algorithm. How do I delete this? And then it'll be under like continue watching because you watched it. You're going to see all these things. I'm like, I didn't watch it. You saw that I watched 5 minutes. How could that count? I wouldn't even get in trouble if my mom was like not wanting me to do that. 5 minutes?
I remember buying an engagement ring. Next thing you know, on every computer in the house, engagement rings again. First of all, I'm not going to buy multiple. Never mind, you're kind of ruining the surprise. Now it's like I'm cheating on you. I keep moving my screen.
Yeah,
and also it should have a button because we looked at gazebos for outside, and then now I already picked it, bought it, and now it's going like this gazebo, that gazebo. There should be a button that said I already bought this. I bought it. Stop showing it to me.
Right. By the way, I hear my printer going off for no reason. It just printed a diamond ring because I said that. Let me unfocus. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you guys a question, like, because I'm super curious, because I know you guys started really early with podcasting. Like, where do you had your shows back then? Because I had it on Podcast Pickle and Podcast Alley. How was it for you guys?
Same things, same places.
Same thing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Exactly the same thing.
We got on Libsyn pretty much right away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
because I remember going to, because Libsyn had these charts, right? And we were always top 50, top 20 around there. And I always would see you guys on top. I'm like, oh man, Keith and the girl. Okay, I remember them.
Oh,
yeah.
But
Gotta bring it back.
I just want to real quick defend myself also for seeing the new Fast and the Furious movie. Henda, it's summertime. And summertime is action movies, okay? And that makes sense. Everybody knows that, right? Because no one wants action in the winter. How are you going to feel the depression if you had action in the winter? You know, I remember some months ago, my brother, he called me. He said he had an exciting story. And I said, bro, it's like 40 degrees out. I wouldn't even know how to take it in. You know, same thing. Emotional drama. I don't need that during the summer. Forget it. My brain's too hot. I don't want to think about very much things. So I want to see a flying car when it's hot out. People know that. You don't have it. You don't have a choice. It's all that's in the theater.
I feel like the math must check out because that's what they do. And the marketers know that you want to see Fast and Furious in the summer.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe because the women that you hang out with will tolerate these movies that you want to go to a little bit more because summer's a little freer. You get to go to the cafe afterwards outdoors. Maybe that's just me. We've been planning to go to the movies for like, I don't know how long. I have this whole thing. There's like a movie theater we can ride our bike to, and there's an Uno's right there. You get appetizers from Uno's, save you enough room to buy a giant popcorn and go. And we've been waiting for quarantine to get out, but it was supposed to be coming to America. Now I have no idea why I would go to the movie theater. So help me out. Xerxes and I are going to the movie theater once we're fully, in the clear with the vaccination, which is in about a week we're clear. In about 2 months, I'll feel comfortable. What the hell is there?
Danny saw In the Heights, right, Danny?
Yeah, I saw that. Actually, I saw it twice. So the first one was an early screening.
Okay.
And the second one, we went to IMAX and City Walk because we live like super close to the area.
Because you knew all the songs by then and you can sing along?
Yeah, well, I don't know but the whole lyrics, but I'm like, I remember this. Yeah. And the craziest part is they showed a lot of areas where I grew up. So I was like, oh my God, I was telling this to my friends and everything. Yeah, but I had to support it, So
what was it like where you grew up?
It's a lot of Dominicans there. A lot of Dominicans. We call it plátanos, of course, but
that's the bananas, right?
Yeah, plantains. Yeah.
Bananas.
Bananas. But yeah, I love it over there because it's everybody. I remember watching like people growing up, breakdancing right in front of my building into the graffiti because when I lived in Nago Avenue, there was a train. The one train would pass by, and I would look through the window. And all I see was just graffiti. I was like, "Oh man, this is super cool." Now you don't see that now there, but it was like entertaining doing that, just watching it there. And yeah, I would just walk around the area. I love that everybody just played like music. It feels like home, Dominican Republic. So
when the Lin-Manuel Miranda looks like he's the vendor. What do you call those icy things? Italian ice.
Yeah,
and I bet you ate some in real life.
Yes, so cherry. That was my favorite one. Red. Give me cherry right there, man. So in Spanish we call it jun jun or frio frio.
Okay.
In Spanish, and I will see them all the time for like $1. I'll just buy a red one. Sometimes maybe coconut, But yeah.
What do they buy in the movie?
In the movie,
they get all flavors.
All flavors. They have all flavors. Yeah, they have all flavors. I think there was one that said red too. So I'm like, oh yes, that was me.
Oh, good.
Wait, so I'm looking at In the Heights at pictures. So this is like a musical?
Yeah, it's a musical.
Oh,
it's like
great.
So it's like Hamilton, like that type of vibe. Yeah. But it's really good. I loved it. And they showed 175th, 181st. There's some parts where they'll go like more north inward, like Dykeman and Nago Avenue. So
is it mainly Dominican cast?
The majority is Dominican, but it's all Cuban, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, to like all Latin, all Latinos.
Oh, I didn't even think about it. Maybe that's why my girlfriend wants to see it. And I just like, oh, it's a musical. But I realized this just came to me, the secret. Instead of saying, no, I don't want to see In the Heights, you say yes, because she has 3 kids. She doesn't have the fucking time. She always thinks she wants to go to a movie. She tells me save movies. I don't get to see the movies I want to see. You know what? I'll see the In the Heights every single day. Next thing you know, I never have to see it. I could see what I want because if she goes, oh, I want to see that too, I can go, we're saving it for In the Heights, So this is very exciting news for me.
It's long. It's like 2 hours.
Doesn't matter. It could be 2 days and a half. We're never going.
This is 2.5 hours long.
Yeah. I mean, if you have HBO Max, you could just watch it at home too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's one of those. Yeah. But I feel like, I know you guys were mentioning about why going to the theater. I missed that experience. I missed that so much. Getting my popcorn and just hearing the fans' reaction. I remember watching Endgame at the theater. Oh my God, I felt like that was like an event. It was insane. You're not gonna get that feeling at home at all.
And
You should
meanwhile,
be,
when you watch that stuff, you're with people like Avengers, for example. You're with people in the know. They probably already put together the comic books in their head, and like,
yeah.
I know who's going to come through that door right
Yep.
now. It happened.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's the type of experience that I want. Because look, I go to a lot of gaming events, gaming conferences, right? And the past year, and even this year, they've been doing a lot of virtual stuff. It's not the same. Like us recording, I would love to record and see you guys in person in the studio. It's a different feeling. It's different than just doing everything virtual. You know what I'm saying? But we have to work with this for now. But in the future, I would love to do that. Just see more people in person.
Yeah, of course. And Hemden and I would love to do it too. But this world cannot fucking behave. And so we don't know when Hemden and I will be back with people in a studio. I went out yesterday to someone's birthday dinner, and there's like 8 or 10 rotating people. Some people come early just to say hi and leave. One person came, and she was wearing a mask, and she said, "I'm not vaccinated, but I can't get COVID because of my job. Like, I'm not allowed to get it." And I'm like any job, or I think that's all jobs. But anyway. Then
wait, like for her job, she's not allowed to get it.
Like she'll get fired if she gets COVID, so she has to have the mask on. But she's not vaccinated, so that's why the mask.
Okay.
And now I'm like, well, why are you here? Is it that worth it to say happy birthday to your friend? Am I a worse friend because I wouldn't come? So she's sitting like kind of at the edge of this outdoor booth. But it's those the new outdoors that are indoors. You know what I mean? Those makeshift little things. So you're indoors with half a side missing. There's no fan or anything. So I'm like, okay, at least you're on the end, I guess, but there's no way you're 6 feet from the next person. Then somebody else comes over and she scoots in. Now she's in the middle, sharing food with people. And like somebody would be like, this drink is great. And she's trying to drink, wouldn't go from the straw, drinks from the side of the glass, the safe part. And all I'm thinking is, now I have to make a decision. Do I care if you die? And I don't think I'm being too dramatic. If I cared, I would leave. And then I'm like, well, I can't live in a world.
Why is she not getting vaccinated?
I don't know. And I'm not asking.
She doesn't get to go out then.
I think I don't see anything else than being an anti-vaxxer. You believe in the virus, you don't believe in the vaccine. I can't think of any scenario where it's something else. But you have to go out. And if everybody's raving, no, of course not.
It's difficult because I know people that are just afraid to take the vaccine. They're not against or anything like that. They're just waiting to see how is it, months later, once they see like their friends or family with it. Right. But now they're like, oh, I'll probably take it, but they're taking too long. I'm like, I want to go out, like I moved here in November in Los Angeles, right? And we were stuck here for 3 months, like not going out. The only time we'll go is like to the mail, trash, and we will order everything for here.
3 months. I don't know how to tell you this. Most of us were stuck for over a year.
Yeah, that's hard. It's difficult. I was like that. I was in New York when the whole pandemic happened too, so I get it. Trust me, it was too much. But mentally, I had to go out. I had to walk at least to like Central Park and just be there for a couple of hours because inside the apartment after a while, it was just driving me crazy. So I get it. But it's difficult what you were saying too, man. Like, what would you do in a situation like that?
That's what I was thinking. So I'm thinking, I'm making a decision. If I kill you or your family, I don't care. I'll pretend to. Only you and I will know, and you'll know because you're in heaven. It's nuts to me because the other option is to leave and not feel like you're contributing to somebody that doesn't know better or care enough's life. But then you're going to be doing that in all different situations. Everybody's just going to be upset. Fine. Then you die. Then you fucking die. And when you see people, some masks, some off on the subway, and all off on the subway. And what can I tell you? You and your family die. What the fuck can I do?
Yeah, it's tough.
It's so
you have
weird.
the vaccine. It's free. The end. Okay.
And you know what's the sad part? There's people around the world that are dying just to get vaccines over there.
Right.
And here we're giving it out, and people are like, "Nah, I'm okay." And that's the thing that I appreciate when I moved to the Dominican Republic. That's when I realized, damn, I'm spoiled. I got spoiled over here. Once you get out of the country and you see how it is in other countries, it completely like opened my mind. I'm like, okay, you know what? Now I have to appreciate like all the work that my parents been through just to come over here to the States and everything, and it drives me crazy when I see people like, nah, I don't want a vaccine. They're giving it for free. Jesus, come on. Like,
yeah. Yeah. I used to care if people went out or didn't follow the rules when we didn't have the vaccine. But now months have gone by. You can easily get it. You're not in line. It's not a to-do to get it. It's seconds to get it. It doesn't take 5 minutes to get it. The time is if you want to sit there and rest in case you have some immediate reaction, which you won't. It's ridiculous, and now I guess you die. There was a guy at our table also, and I overheard like somebody say, "Oh, you got the vaccine," and he goes, "I have a good card," meaning he has a fake card that he can show people. Okay, well, die.
And he's saying that?
He said it out loud, but at least he didn't have a mask and wasn't a real weirdo.
No, he's the one that should wear a mask.
I don't care. I'd rather you didn't wear a mask. Don't make me feel uncomfortable.
Wear a mask and keep that shit to yourself.
Well, then I'm going to ask why you're wearing a mask, you fucking weirdo.
Holy shit.
But yeah, keep it. Don't be sharing that shit. Now I got to, now do I feel guilty? No, I won't. But luckily I happen to be born with this, what do you call it? Disposition where I already told myself, and it's sticking, I can't care. But most people aren't as cold-hearted, and they will look back and be like, the fucking birthday party. I'm a piece of shit. Know that you're not a piece of shit. Let me say this ahead of time. You're not. They wanted to die. Fuck them. Sorry, this is how I won't have heartache later.
But also, you're not giving them anything because you're vaxxed.
But I could have it and give it. Like, there's a chance. So
very, very, very.
I get
chance.
you. But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I won't feel guilty about that small chance.
Well, every year we would go camping with a dozen people. Last year was the first time in over a decade that we weren't able to do that. And this year I feel confident that I will be able to be around people by September, which is when we go. But the stipulation in the invite is you're only invited if you're fully vaxxed.
Of course.
That's the right thing to do. I think that's the right thing to do.
And then we're not going to get the variant fixed also. Do you read the news? Why are people saying this out loud? Then if they don't get the fucking thing, the thing starts mutating, and then us vaccinated people can get it again, and we start all over. That's a scenario that can easily happen. Do you know how many? 46% in America fully vaxxed. 54% at least one dose. That means they didn't get the dose. This didn't just happen the last couple weeks, and they didn't get their second dose just yet. People just stopped with one dose.
Here's what I think a huge amount of people are scared of, and I could be wrong. There was a vaccination for this so quickly. It's historically amazing, right? So it's never been able to do that. And people think that they skipped the steps that would protect the vaccine from causing harm. They didn't skip those steps. They skipped the steps where the bureaucracy lies. They were given green lights to do things, not that cause harm, but that you don't have to wait for a reply from this department. That department is already replying to. You don't have to wait for, you can actually do the first part of the research and the fifth part, because they're allowing certain things, and you don't have to actually go in order, except that normally we have these walls up. Now, because everybody wants this to happen, we put a lot of energy into it. So it's not that the steps were skipped that cause harm. The steps were skipped that if we can skip all of this, we might even find a cure for cancer. And if we put all of that into this one thing, this is what can happen. This is what science can do.
Yeah, all the scientists, I mean, if you're getting a government grant of any kind, you have to work on this virus. You're not getting money for anything else. You're a scientist, you're smart. This is what you're focusing on, period. That's why we had it so fast.
Yeah, so I think the fear is well, why can you do it all of a sudden? Because they were given the freedom to do it. They were still being scientists. they were given the freedom without the bureaucracy that usually stops them from being able to move a little faster.
Yeah.
I see that the horrible story in Miami Beach, the building that collapsed. 10 people now dead. Everybody's heartbroken, rightly so. 4 million died with this virus. What's that? That drink looks good. Can I have a sip? Okay. All right. Average of 1,133 people die from this virus.
Wait, what?
Still, an average of over 1,000 people are dying a day. Lest anyone thinks this is over. Yeah.
Overall in America, right? Overall, okay.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
My cousin, he passed away from COVID last year.
Shit.
Yeah. That was like actually now it's like the 1 year anniversary, like around this time. Yeah. So that was hard, and it was his roommate that got it, and look, he got sick and he passed away a couple of weeks after that. So.
Wow. Did that change any of the minds in your family? Like, was anybody sort of questioning that COVID exists or COVID is scary?
we were always careful about that stuff. Like my whole family were like that, but that's the thing. Like you said, somebody will have it. You don't know. You get sick and then you get tested and like, wait a minute, I have COVID because somebody being responsible gave it to that person, So.
And your cousin was fully healthy before?
Yeah,
no.
he was healthy. Yeah, he was good. And he's 46 years old.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yep.
That's so hard because that was at the more of the start of it, and I assume you can't go to his funeral.
No. Well, we did had a funeral, but we had to go away from the city. We went more like upstate. But here's the thing, like I got to see my family. I haven't seen them in months, and we were like far away, just waving. It was weird.
Really?
Weird. Yeah.
Oh my God! You were there for a funeral, and you couldn't hug each other.
Hug each other. Nothing.
And people stood by that, like, because it's hard once nobody hugged each other. Holy shit!
Nobody. And we were all social distancing, and that was the first time I got to see his wife because they got married a year before. And she came from the Dominican Republic. That's the first time I met her, and we could even hug her. We were just like waving, and it was weird. Never want to go through that again. Never.
There were 700 COVID deaths linked to Trump rallies. Trump just had another rally last weekend. Of course, didn't bother to say that he was vaccinated. Still wants to. He was, but still wants to make you think he wasn't. If that's because it became a political issue. Which to me, just alone, how you can be a Republican in this world where you have to pay for your own air conditioning is beyond me. But now you got this bullshit on top of it. It's crazy. Remember when the CDC and Fauci was like, all right, here's COVID rules. I know it's weird, but we should tell you, don't do as play. It can be in the fecal matter. And what you doing it? Now he's saying, you know what? It's July 4th. Are you vaccinated? Do whatever you want. Walk around and eat a big bowl of shit. Can you just get fucking vaccinated? You can do anything you want. How about that? People yeah.
My internet got a little I thought I lost you guys just in the middle towards the end of Danny's story about like being at the funeral and distancing. And we came back and Keith was like, anyway, this person said, and I was like, oh my God. Danny, I'm sorry for your loss. I don't know if that was some weird me just staring because my computer screen froze. And yes, it would be nice to be in the same room. So I'm not like, is our internet out?
I'm seeing, the Madison Square Garden opened up, Broadway's opening up, and people are outside protesting that you need to be vaccinated to go in there. So saying it's a segregation.
Follow the rules.
It's our right to be there. You want to talk about segregation? People were boycotting Bruce Springsteen and him being on Broadway. It's like, how about you complain about the fucking tickets? You want to complain about segregation? You can relate to this blue collar thing and then to pay $450 for the nosebleeds. Okay, how about complain about that? But no, you needed a vaccine. God forbid.
Why were people protesting him?
Because you need the vaccine to get into the building, and they're saying that's not fair. It should be my choice if I get a vaccine. And they're saying, well, we can sell out right now, so we'd rather not be related to murder. He doesn't care, but we're a business.
Yeah, I think the last concert, it was a Madison Square Garden. Who was it? Foo Fighters? Was it Foo Fighters?
Yeah.
But it was completely sold out.
Yeah. There's
My
enough
God.
decent people. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Bruce said, quote, I can understand those folks in the street. He said during the show, this is a time filled with confusion. Okay. All right. That's sweet to say. I'd be like, fucking idiot. Hey, you guys thanks for coming and getting past those fucking idiots. Anyway, let's go cough on each other now because we can. Anyways, I have some, I do want to talk some gaming with you. Of course.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Destiny 2, the best game going today, true or false?
Not the best, but it's up there. It's really, really good. Yeah.
He didn't leave the witness enough for that one. You couldn't tell.
not the best. No, the thing is, I like the game, but I moved on from Destiny.
Not enough shopping in it, right? My friend Craig insists that he loves that they make you go fucking shopping and pick up the best version of this gun and check this app and do that. It's like, well, then why didn't they put that in the commercial? Obviously, we like shooting and killing. He's like, no, I love flying to space and seeing if I get a new doodad. I'm like, you don't. Why do you have to do the game makers a favor? But no, the murdering, of course. I meet these enemies on these. Yeah. I suck them right off, Danny. I suck them right off the planet. You know what I'm talking about? Come all over. And I get rid of them. I think my problem with these games, they're starting to feel a little racist to me. I don't know if it's because I'm so
racist.
Yeah, I get to a planet, the Red Legion, for example. I'm just supposed to hate them because I was told to. Sometimes you start these missions, you're looking at the back of the enemy. So what do? Oh, you shoot them in the fucking head. Well, now there's an international incident.
Holy shit.
Oh, there's a totally different. Yeah, it's a whole new race of people. Well, obviously they're bad. I go in. I try to be diplomatic. No, you get screwed. You just got to start killing. Who are these people? They're half robots. That's all I need to know. Kill their kids.
This is the only place that Keith expresses his emotions.
Yeah.
So as you can see, it's going to be plentiful. This is the Keith feelings corner.
He's really going all out.
And speaking of F9, I'm playing Destiny, and I'm finding out that some of these, they're in robots. Some of these people's brains was an enemy I fought in a different game. So why am I killing people? They could all be good later.
I'm very surprised you mentioned Destiny because not a lot of people are into Destiny. So very, very in shock.
Thank you. Thank you.
He knows his stuff. He knows his stuff.
Yeah, I don't go with the flow. No, I think about this all the time. When I first started playing Grand Theft Auto, they go, "Oh, you got out of jail. Now you're coming into this town, and obviously I'm gonna have to run over people for no reason." So I go, "But you're gonna have to give me a reason." So at first, as I come into town, I stop at the red light and I wait for it to turn green because I just got out of jail. I don't want to go back in. But the town doesn't let you. They start ramming cars into you. I'm like, okay, now this is an asshole town. Then I can just start shooting people. But I have to start realistic. These like war games. I like to call upon my army training, and and there's so many things are similar. I don't. What war games do you play? Like Call of Duty, this kind of
Call
thing?
of Duty, Battlefield, stuff like that. I played everything, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. So.
Then you must know about this. I start the game. First of all, I already saved the world a million times, right?
Yeah, superhero. Okay.
Yeah, and all the people around me, they're like, "Hey, Sarge, I'm ready to go out there and kill him, Sarge. Let's go get him, Sarge. You're the best, Sarge." But I have terrible sense of direction in real life and these games, and sometimes I don't know where to go. And if you keep these non-player characters waiting for like 3 fucking minutes, like, "Hey, Sarge, get your shit together," and it's like, "You motherfucker." But you lead the way. They don't lead the way. They just go, "Sarge." I'll tell you what I do, Danny.
Yeah.
I leave the computer on. And I go to bed, and I can hear them at night. They're like, "Sarge, please, we're starving." Fuck you, because they love to curse. That's a new thing in games. They're like, "Let's go get this fucking guy." And I'm like, "Well, how about you fucking help?"
So, do you don't play online? Because that's even worse. Because there's no, you can't stop during online. You can't pause.
No, I play the campaigns, and Destiny seems to be the only thing that I play. Strangers.
Online. Yeah, because that's strictly online. There's no single player in there at all.
There is some single player in it, but I I don't know, something about that game I'm not bad at, and other
Mhm.
games, these 12-year-old kids just beat the shit out of me, which is something they didn't train us in the actual army. Like, what do you do when a little kid comes out and keeps slapping you to death, calling your mom the N-word? We weren't trained what to do, so it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I'll tell
It's
you.
yeah. Go ahead.
I'll tell you what game I like.
Yes.
It's been around for a while. Do you know when you try to go to a website or Google and it just doesn't, the Google page doesn't load? If you hit the space bar, it'll have this little T-Rex kind of guy and it jumps over the cactus. Do you guys know this one?
Google.
What setting do you put it on?
If your internet is gone.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I get it now.
Nice.
Oh boy.
That and Arkanoid.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. I remember when I was in the army, we'd be trained that if we didn't know where the bad guy is, you run out into the field, you take a couple shots, you run back, and then you tell the fellow soldiers where you got shot and where people are, and then you take it from there. So that part is very realistic.
Danny, is there a place where people can go online and play strangers and it's not just people cursing at each other? It's like an actual nice space where you could play people and it's all kind of levels. It's not, 12-year-olds beating the shit out of you. You can't even get 5 minutes into the game. There are places like that.
Yeah, there is. You know what it is? I think
Uno.com.
When you mention those like mainstream games like Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, you're gonna find that crowd of people that are just like nuts, like cursing out and all that, right? But
Don't
when
you wonder, and I'm sorry to cut, don't you wonder why I can't pick, like, I want to play with 40 to 50-year-olds? Like, shouldn't you be able to not play with 12-year-olds?
Yeah, I wish there was a better way to filter that out. But if you go to like a game like Tetris Effect Connected, it's called, right?
I love Tetris. You can play with randos.
Yeah, you could play with randoms. Yep, and you could play with friends and you could spectate and see the competition. Everybody's really, really friendly. So it depends of the game. It all depends on the game.
Right before you said everyone's really friendly and be like, I'm gonna get on and kick everyone's butt.
And you're cursing out, right? You're like,
take it down.
Fuck you. Yeah, but yeah, try that. Like, there's a service that I use a lot. It's called Xbox Game Pass, and you get all the games for free. It's like Netflix, so you could just pay a service every month. And
Keith, did you know about this?
Yeah, but right now I'm busy sucking these guys off, so I kind of like what I like right now.
Yeah, whatever you like. There you go.
I'm hoping Destiny comes up with a new gun where you can shoot through locked wooden doors, because that seems to be keeping my crew back a little bit. But, other than that, it should be sad. I hate when you're playing a game like Call of Duty and they have you drive a tank, and for whatever reason I can't drive these computer tanks, and then they go, "Oh, mission over." And it's like, really? I'm retired because I can't drive a tank, but I flew a plane, I drove a motorcycle, I've been on Mars, but I can't drive a tank. So this isn't the Matrix. I can't drive every fucking thing.
Yeah.
I love that we get these guests in and they have this huge passion. They're so heavily involved in like gaming, and Keith takes a game and goes, "Here's my literal thoughts on this. This is not what you do in an army."
Right.
Just...
Is that 100% accurate? So wrong.
Not 100%. I remember in the army, if we had trouble with a mission, we would just stop, put it aside for a second, get drunk, come back and beat it, because we had more balls this time.
I bet there are stories like that in the army, Keith Malley. That's one that we're gonna let slide, though.
All right, that's fair. Stray bullet struck a tourist in Times Square on Sunday. 5:15 p.m. Well, it goes with guns and shooting. When I was at this dinner, the news came up.
So this is the second time, right? Second time. That happened recently too. Before that, there was a shootout. Yeah, there was a shooting.
Yeah, and it happens. There's a lot of shootings, but this was the big deal because it was right in Times Square, 45th Street and Broadway. A tourist got shot in the back accidentally. A bullet bounced off the ground. Investigators believe the gunfire was triggered by an argument between two men selling CDs, with one of them pulling out a gun and firing a bullet at the ground. And then that's when the slug ricocheted and struck the 21-year-old victim in the back, who happened to be a Marine.
Wow.
So he's in the hospital.
The guy who got shot.
But the guy who got shot happened to be a Marine. You feel, you want to go out, you're doing your duty for whatever reason. This is how you get shot. Vacation with your family, walking in Times Square.
It is crazy. It is crazy. Times Square is so there's cops everywhere. So how the hell did this happen? Because I mentioned this I think it was like a month or 2 months ago. There was another shooting in Times Square, a different situation. But I think a kid got shot, a young kid, because of that.
It's really weird because their response seems to be, let's put more cops in Times Square.
Yeah,
there are, like you said, there are a ton of cops.
It makes zero sense. I don't know what's going on over there.
It's very strange because there's so much police presence, but those furries are constantly harassing people and getting into fights, and I don't really understand it. Also, it's weird because Times Square is known for tourism and it's almost like Disneyland type thing, but that's the place where I've seen fights actually come to fruition. That's the place where like anger meets more anger. It's very, very strange. It's supposed to be our Disneyland in a sense, but later in the night, like 2 a.m., people are physically at each other because I think that's where everybody gets drunk so that they can feel like they're doing something. I don't know. It's weird that our tourist place feels like more violent than other places.
Yeah,
that's why we need more guns. We all agree, right? Give each gun a gun and each bullet a gun. Because this it's not working out.
That sounds like a good video game that you could make fun of.
I'll tell you how. How they're going to find out what CD seller sold this. Just go and start buying. If you're a detective, start buying these CDs, and they'll tell on themselves.
By the way, who are they selling these CDs to? Where are they?
I'll tell you how they do this, because I every time I pass by, they will come up to me. So we're like, "Hey, what's up, mate?" Hey, they'll try to give me a CD. I'm like, nah. But if somebody says yes and they'll take it, that's when they'll charge people. They'll start charging right after you.
Yeah, they hand it to you as if it's a gift, and then when you start walking away because this is the interaction you thought you were having, they're like, that'll be $10. Then you try handing it back and it's too late. It's like, oh, you touched it last, you owe me $10.
Yeah.
The problem is like, even though you gave me this CD, I've nowhere to put it.
Exactly. I was about to say that. Like, who listens to CD? Like, I haven't used a CD in years.
Yeah, like you obviously just saw some hip hop documentary where it's like so and so sold the tapes out of his trunk of his house. It was the trunk of his car, and you're in New York City, and that's where a lot of it happened. And then you're like, well, CD is the most updated, and it's like, it's so
because it's
flash drives. Come on, man. Flash drives,
because it's big, and have you seen this scam? I've seen it more than once in person. They go to give you a CD during the touching. It fell on the floor. The case cracked. Now you definitely have to buy it because you broke it.
That's terrible.
That's crazy. Yeah, but now you're like really, that's such a scam. Also, like, right. Yeah. So I'm wondering, with all the police presence, how do things escalate even that much? Like, it shouldn't
even.
There
is a station there too, right in the middle of Times Square is a police station.
This with neon lights, and it's not. They're not just in that. They're like also in the subway station underneath, and they're everywhere on top. So you're not allowed to hand CDs out to people. You're not even allowed to hand anything out to people unless you have some sort of license or however it works. So I don't understand how anyone's even getting to the point where they can give me a CD and then harass me. Like, there's also the Scientology building. They're not allowed to harass you either. You can't.
Well, even the people that are dressed up as like a fake Mickey Mouse and Batman, right, in Times Square, they're not allowed to say, "Can I get a donation?" They can't say that at all. But they'll come and take a picture with you, and then they'll stay there waiting to see if you're gonna give them money or not.
Right? They tell you what the best nation is. It's donation. They have they have the whole shtick. I know, like in the West Village, if you're there a certain time around where the Comedy Cellar is, especially like at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., these guys who are probably living in the park nearby come up to couples because you know that, like, you know, if you're on a date and it's new, you're now going to get embarrassed. They tell their shtick, they tell their jokes, they follow you down the block, and then they ask you for money. And if you're on a date, you kind of feel stupid. This person you've taken their time and blah, blah, blah. And I think they do really well because they're very charismatic and they don't stop.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear these street diss tracks. I'll pretend you broke my CD. You owe me $20. Yeah, I'll shoot a tourist. I don't give a fuck. What? How'd you catch me? What the? June 27th, 2021. The guy was a Marine, but I shot him with my gun. Ricochet. How did you catch me? Oh, you detectives are good. You are
those rhymes, man.
It's pretty good, right?
One take. Thank you. All right, let me mention. I want to mention a couple of things here. Okay. Again, this week is Keith and the Girl Day. Get your Keith and the Girl gear. Keith and the Girl gear on July 4th.
Wear it on July 4th.
Wear it on July 4th. Wear it. What's happening? I'm riled up.
If you want to get your gear in time, if you don't have it, if you don't have a sticker, if you don't have a t-shirt, but even if you have like, hey, this is the episode that I'm listening to, that gets posted on July 4th. If you're out, take a picture of yourself with the gear. If you're in, take whatever Keith and the Girl related, and let's all post. We get to know each other online. Use @Keith and the Girl and hashtag Keith and the Girl so everybody can follow it. Today is a day that you want to get your order in if you don't have any gear. So keithandthegirl.com/gear. Make sure that you get the delivery on time. Check out the history of Keith and the Girl on a t-shirt or a mug, or there's like change purses and leggings, like Keith said. keithandthegirl.com/gear. Just check it out because of the artwork and the special. It makes me feel so warm. It really is 16 years of stuff that you've heard sprinkled in that has been part of yours in our life together. It's very, very cool. There's even one that says it's on an iPod and it says since 2005, because that's since we've been podcast. Everyone get teary-eyed now. It's 16 plus years for Danny as well. Like I said, the only podcaster we've ever had on here that was on a month before us, anytime before us.
And still going.
And still going. That's right.
Yeah.
That's the
How many episodes in total now you guys have? Like I have over 1,144, but I have a lot of shows that doesn't have no numbers. So it's probably like 2,000.
Exactly. Yeah. We have like a similar thing right now. This is 3421, 3,421st episode. But we've also had like Keith has a show called My Name is Keith. I have a show called What's My Name. We have a wrap-up show that we do together with our friends from the Black Guy Who Tips podcast and other, VIP premium things that people can get with our premium subscription to VIP.
That's really cool.
As I'm talking, cool. I'm like, wait, am I doing an ad? I'm not. I'm just.
We're just having a conversation.
Yeah. This is totally normal. So yeah, anything else you remember from back in the day of first podcasting that you think would be relevant here? I know, like we all got excited, like, yeah, this is from like when people were going, what do? You're in your mom's basement doing what?
Yeah, and remember too, back then there was no iTunes, so people had to get like third-party apps to download those shows, or they'll go to like those smaller sites to listen to podcasts. So, but what I used to do back then, I will go to the stores at midnight when a game is coming out, and I'll pass out flyers. I'm like, hey, listen to my radio show. I will never mention the word podcast because people will be like, huh? What is this? Like, yeah, so they'll be super confused, but I'll call it internet radio show.
Right. Wasn't it weird once you started hearing it? I remember hearing a Family Guy episode where he's like, I'm listening to a podcast. They said podcast on TV. Yeah. They said podcast. People know what a podcast is.
Yeah. And I'll be like, Game Changer. That's it. Game Changer is about to get mainstream now. What? Yeah. Yeah, but oh man, it was exciting seeing, Apple announce that they were gonna add podcasting to the platform. That's when I'm like, okay, now this is cool. But back then we were like competing with like the bigger media on in the charts,
CNN, etc.
Yeah, Disney. I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. But yeah.
Yeah.
Exciting
Well,
times.
congrats. You know what? We covered a lot. Let's go over what we covered. All right. First off, Queen Latifah is indeed in a queer relationship. All right. So I don't know if people won or lost a lot of money on that, but congratulations to her nonetheless. We talked about the Gamertag story. How you said you want to play a game with me? Fuck you, pay me. And you got a motorcycle and drove to America. What a fascinating story that was.
Amazing.
You're dropping your friendship with Adam Curry. That's good to hear. We covered the N-word, nerdy, and what it means. And you taught us, you know what? Let's think positive and make it inclusive. And we're going to be the bigger people and allow cool people to use that word. And I can get behind that. All right. I told you how to properly eat cereal. That was very exciting for everybody. We mentioned the new Kurt Russell movie, Fast 9, and everybody's going to see it, and we're all going to stare at it and get nothing out of it. So that'll be fun for all of us to do that together. We talked about weirdos that go out and wear masks and tell us they're unvaccinated so we feel like a murderer. But we've learned, of course, it's okay. It's actually their choice. They're trying to commit suicide, and we all think Dr. Kevorkian is a hero. Okay, very good. What else? We talked about the Army and how that relates to actual war games.
Oh my God, is that what we were doing in that section?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's when your screen went. We were covering that, and
I think
learned
Danny and I were eating popcorn during that time.
Yeah, they're right there.
we learned it's shockingly.
That was our run pee.
Yes. Well, I remembered that it's shockingly similar. And if you shoot a friend in real life and in a game, apparently the mission is completely over and you should let the bad guys go. Times Square, very dangerous, but that's exciting for our street cred. And that
you can rap. And that you can rap.
Right, and that I can rap.
Yeah, exactly.
I can just
New York
spit.
street flow. There you go.
Thank you very much. Danny,
Congrats.
Thank you for your time. Congrats on everything. I mean it.
No, thanks a lot. Again, it's an honor being here, and I'm glad that you guys are still doing it. Very happy.
Yeah,
about
you
that.
too. Tell everybody where they should find you. What's your favorite platform, favorite place for people to go?
Yeah, well, add me on Twitter. I'm very vocal there. Godfree, Godfree. And you also could find me on any podcast app. Just search for Gamertag Radio and subscribe, and send me emails. I love answering questions and debates about gaming. It's awesome. It's fun.
Oh shit, it's on. Do you like debating via email?
Oh, we debate like crazy. Hell yeah. We do that all the time.
Because Keith, so Keith goes one of two ways. Like, you're going to write him an email for 3 pages. First of all, you need to say that this matters to you and you're not just drunk ranting. Then he's going to read it.
That's
important.
He's going to read it. And there are times where he'll be like, okay, I'm in. And now it's a back and forth. And there are times where he goes, good to know, send.
Now I give you props. Long emails? No, I'm not going to read that. If it's something short, let's do it. Let's go back and forth. But it's like 3 pages. No, I'm not going to waste my time with that.
Okay, I'm really glad that we put that caveat.
I appreciate them, sending that email, but that's too much. 3 pages? Hell no. Fuck that.
What is the best game going today?
The best game?
Mm-hmm.
Best game right now.
Tetris.
Tetris. I love Tetris, by the way. I'm a huge fan of Tetris. I love that. I love Apex Legends. It's free. Yeah, you could try that. Warzone. Have you played Warzone?
That's Call of Duty, right?
Call of Duty. Yeah, that one is free too.
Okay.
I play a lot of free games too.
They sound like tricks. Free sounds like a trick to me.
Well, it's free, but if you want cosmetics and you want to buy like those cool weapons or cool gear, you pay extra for that.
Weapons are important. Let's not compare that to eyeshadow. It might matter if I have good weapons or not. Cosmetics.
There you go.
I bet their cosmetics shoot me in the face a little faster.
Honestly, how can I put this together? I would love to watch the two of you, and I never want to watch people really play video games. I don't really care. I want to watch the two of you play some sort of video game. So
we'll stream it. We'll stream it live, right?
Yes.
We'll stream it live, and people will see us. Yeah, teaming up. Yeah.
I'm
down for that. I'm really down for that. I stream all the time.
Keith, you ready to die? I'm just assuming Danny's dead.
He said team up. He said team up.
Oh, okay.
Team up.
Easy.
Not against. We're going to be kicking ass.
Oh, okay.
Right. Okay. We'll be sucking guys off the planet, right, Danny?
Why?
Get rid of them. I don't know if you're mishearing me.
Yeah, we'll do it. I'm down. Just let me know. Let's do it.
Excellent. All right, we'll figure it out. Thank you so much, Danny. This was so much fun. Yeah,